Assessments Using Social Media by Jessica Ovalle, July 10th, 2017. What is social media? According to a journal article, The Effects of Social Media on College Students, the definition of social media is the relationship that exists between networks of people. Some examples are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SimCity, Warcraft, Snapchat, Path. They're all considered social media. Students are spending so many countless hours on social media. Social media may have a negative or a positive effect on current students, but either way, students are using social media on a daily basis. From the Nelson Media Research, there is a study in June 2010 that stated almost 25% of students' time on the internet is now spent on social networking websites. If that was said in 2010 and it's 2017 now, I'm pretty sure the percentage is higher. Facebook is the most used social network by college students. Myself, I had Facebook in the beginning when it was only available to college students. And I remember that MySpace was popular. But in recent years, Facebook has grown. From 2007, it was at 92%, to 2008, it became 99% of college students now have a Facebook account. Benefits of social media. Some of the benefits for social media in higher education is that the advertisement is free. Students may see what services are being offered from departments or offices. For example, on the left side, that image is actually on our Instagram page from the Office of Graduate Studies. We were promoting the thesis, dissertation, and support group. There's the time, the location, and we even said that snacks would be provided. This is a good way to have advertisement without paper and clutter and, putting flyers all over the university. Instead, we just put it on Instagram for followers. Another benefit is that assessments can be conducted through social media. Assessments through social media. Facebook is one social media that distributes surveys, questionnaires, and quizzes. For example, there could be a quiz that says, "What kind of Harry Potter character are you?" You click on the link, and then it takes you to a different web page most of the time, and you answer 5 or 6 questions, and then it tells you, "What kind of Harry Potter character are you?" Those are third parties that do assessments through Facebook. The third parties have a profile and the audience volunteers by clicking on the link. One good example was My Personality. It was a third party on Facebook. The participants were drawn from the user of My Personality, a third party application on Facebook. Users anonymously reported to surveys and that they knew that it was for a research purpose. There are many samples that users volunteered for. I believe that this is a fast and reliable type of way to do an assessment, and I believe the data that will be collected in this assessment is very useful because people are more willing to be honest if they know that the survey is done anonymously. In higher education, an office can go ahead and do an assessment like this and get honest opinions from students or faculty or staff. And to know the honest truth is is good information so the offices or departments could know how they can work better to improve themselves. One example to capture audience for an assessment. These 6 tips were from a journal article, Peer Review Publication in the Era of Social Media, JHM 2.0. Basically, 20 years ago, peer-reviewed journal articles were printed every month or weekly, and readers would read them. Now, they're actually being advertised through Twitter, and you just click on the link. And now people can actually talk back to the editor themselves. And these 6 tips I think were very interesting because higher education can use these 6 tips to gain an audience when using Twitter. So the first one would be to make it short, then make it simple, make it clear, pose a question, add a hashtag, and include the Twitter handle. Types of assessment using social media. I think tracking usage is a good one to see the number of followers on Instagram or Facebook or even Twitter's, just tracking it, tracking the number of followers and tracking the number of likes to see if our numbers are getting higher or the numbers could be getting lower or if we're getting any numbers at all. Another one is satisfaction. The surveys that can be sent through via links instead of the emails, maybe we can just put it out there on Twitter or Instagram and get people to anonymously fill it out, and we can find out what's going on and if they're liking the services that we're providing in higher education. Social media in higher education. I did an example with the office that I currently work, Office of Graduate Studies. On the right, that is our logo for Instagram. I believe that each office or department needs to have their own logo to brand themselves in social media. And the 2 examples that I use where I think we can really use social media to help us in, and we can do an assessment through that social media, would be for the graduate orientation and graduate appreciation week. Because in graduate orientation, we can go ahead and probably put a link on Twitter, or we can do a hashtag for the orientation to get more graduate students to come to graduate orientation. It's important for graduate students to come to graduate orientation because the students get to know more information that is different than the online orientation. And then for Graduate Appreciation Week, we can also do some kind of questionnaire or feedback through Twitter where they can click on the link, or even on Instagram, we can go ahead and see the number of likes, or in Facebook, see the number of likes to make sure our advertisement's getting out there. And for Graduate Appreciation Week, we have to come up with new ideas every day of that week to try to get the graduate students involved. It's appreciating them. We do have the baseball game. I'm not sure if people like the baseball game or not. Maybe we can put it out there and get an anonymously survey from the students to see what they think or what should be added, maybe another free Coke or something. But I really do think that an assessment of in using social media at an office is something beneficial that other offices can use as well. Social media is the future. Articles have evolved. They're no longer printed or mailed through house to house, or you have to go to the store to pick up a newspaper. Now, I know through Snapchat, people go ahead and record something that's happening live, or Facebook has Facebook Live where you can read articles, and then Twitter is posting articles. And the same thing for job searching is now done through a social media, LinkedIn. People can discuss with someone else about a new job opportunity or post their resume out there through a social media, and you can advertise yourself and get a different job. So assessments can be done through social media, and higher education can also look into that. The offices or departments, you know, so many people have these social media accounts. I think it's important that higher education takes this opportunity to know what kind of assessments they can do through social media. List of resources.